Have you ever wondered how to take a window out of a shuttle bus? I too have wondered that, and today I'm going to figure it out. And maybe you'll learn from all the mistakes I'm about to make. Maybe I won't make any mistakes and everything will go perfectly. That's a joke. I think what's going to happen, this is my theory, is that we pull all these screws out around here, and this piece comes off, and then this window pushes out. And it's where it's supposed to seal is on the outside of that window where it pushes up against the body of the shuttle bus. Whether I'm right or not remains to be seen, but we're going to find out. And that'll tell us what we need to reseal these windows, whether it's some sort of caulking or beetle tape or whatever.
If I can't help you, I can do this.
Yeah. So what happened? Window came out easy. All you do is remove this outside piece by removing these screws, and then you can just push the window out on the other side. I actually did it from in here and just held on here. And what that got us to is this point. What we can see here is this body is made with two pieces of fiberglass with an insulative layer in between. For us, that insulative layer is probably going to be enough. If we are living in this, or something like that, we may consider putting another layer of insulation. That's good news for us. And then looking down this wall, the fiberglass still looks pretty good. Everything looks pretty good there. I feel pretty confident about just basically taking this window, and you can see it just had a rubber seal on it. What I mean by that is it was just a piece of rubber sealant they put here that pushed up against the window to seal. If you know anything about installing windows like this, this is not really going to cut it in a long-term situation. This isn't pliable, it'll just wear out. In fact, you can see right there how much it's wore out over time. With this 3M window weld seam sealer type situation. This is actually for windows and whatnot, but super good stuff. So we are gonna clean the outside of this up really good, clean the frame up really good, and then slap this on there and put it back on, and it should seal these windows up and keep the water from getting in here, which needs to happen pretty quick because we do have rain in the forecast and snow and sleet and all kinds of junk for the next couple weeks. So we want to get this hammered down. Yeah, this is I don't know, 30 something bucks a can. It's pretty expensive. Everything from 3M's expensive if you've ever bought anything from them. So I'm sure there's cheaper stuff out there you could definitely go with, but 3M's not, we know that if we put this on there, we're not going to have to worry about it again. And I really don't want to ever pull these windows out again. So we're going to just hammer down with this stuff and make it look good.
It's not very good.
That's why it stopped there. Did it melt it?
Huh?
Did it melt it?
Nope. Well, trying to get this silicone that's on here off before we do anything.
It's good.
And it is stubborn.
Attach the paint.
Not really.
It once upon a time said lacquer thinner on that. Burbski is going to take the window and put it up here, and that sealant's going to seal between the window and this outside surface. And once it gets it up here, I'm going to take this piece that goes on the inside, and I'm going to start putting screws in it, and that's what holds it, sandwiches it here.
Work on that.
So Herbie just brought this up. Take your camera and just look down. This is the window we fixed compared to all the rest of them.
up there.
See how they're all cocked out?
Oh yeah.
It's no wonder they're all leaking. Oh wow. Look at that. How much is just... Well, this one's got nothing now.
This one's not as bad back here.
If you're doing this, the one thing you want to think about is where you want these emergency windows at when your bus build's done. So do you want them where they're at, or do they make sense somewhere else? Because you can move them around at this point.
Hi.
Very, very good. Yes. This window, it had been leaking a long time. And so the insulation that is around the two pieces of fiberglass here is kind of gone away. And so it makes this really flimsy and floppy. So what I'm doing is just cutting some wood to go in between these two pieces to kind of reinforce it and give it a little bit more oomph. So that when that window clamps together, it'll seal up good. And it'll also provide a little bit more structure for it here. So I'm just cutting some little like 1x2s that slide in here. So I'm going to finish up. I've got to get this side done and the top, and then we can put this back window in.
And you cleaned off all the stuff?
Yep. All right. Now, you just got to sit here and hold it, all right?
Okay.
Good?
Yeah, take that inside with you. Normally, we would just put this emergency window back in this end window slot. However, that's where our closet is going to be, so there's really no need to have an emergency window where we're going to be building in front of it. What we're going to do instead is we're going to be replacing it with our second window in so that it can be across from the second window on the other side and kind of just be mirror the same. It'll also give us an ability to open the window if we have seats right here, which is what our plan is. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this window out. we're going to be cleaning this window and that window and then replacing both. Are you ready?
Yeah. So our windows had a lot of caulking on them. You know, they were leaking, so previous owners had tried to get them sealed up with just caulking around the edges of the windows, which was a good try, but it didn't work. So to get rid of that, you know, you can scrape it off or whatever. But we found this stuff, this crud cutter caulk remover, and it actually works pretty good. It's super thick. Just leave it on there for a second and it seems to take that stuff right off. So if you got the same problem we do, I'd recommend you get some of this, or else, I mean, you can do it with elbow grease. I got a scraper right here, but it takes a lot longer. So up to you. All right, y'all. We got the windows done. All the windows are in. They're all sealed up. They look great. We used a urethane, black urethane on all of them. Basically, we took one out at a time because we were worried about the wall bowing or getting out of shape. So we just did one at a time. We did move some of the escape windows around to places that we thought they would work better with the layout of our van. So that's something to think about. Couple things we learned when we pulled them out. You know, we knew they were leaking, but some had some water damage. So we took some 1x2 and cut it and put it into the channel in there to just give it some rigidity. Easy fix that you'll want to do when you're working on windows like this. Another thing, if you look right here, there is a body line on the back of this particular model. Where the windows overlap, you get a pretty large gap. When you're putting that window in, you really wanted to put extra goop, extra urethane on these corners to cover that, and then come back around and do them again. Because those places, they can't lay flat against the bus. They're gonna lay on this, and you're gonna have that gap. So learn from what I learned. Put extra goop there. Beyond that, it went fairly easy. Everything went in. We do have to get a few extra screws because some screws broke or stripped out when we were taking them out. So, you know, they're super easy. We'll go to Lowe's and grab those. But beyond that, that's done. Our next big thing is just going around and pulling all of the caulking that the previous folks put on it, on all the body seams. We're gonna take all that off and then put some seam sealer on it that's paintable. To seal that up, and then also we're going to replace all the lights that are on the body of it because all the lights are probably leaking at this point as well. It's cheap to get LEDs. It's an easy thing to replace. So those are going to be our next steps in weatherproofing this. And then once all that's done, then we can start on our inside build because we don't have to worry about any rain getting in there and ruining what we've done to this point. So super excited to be at this point. You know, a lot less water is going to be coming in here. The rest of what we've got to do is fairly easy. Just be a little, you know, arm work and some sealer. So stick with us. We're getting there slowly but surely. Question for y'all. We are going to replace the cab lights. We got a couple that are broken and they are probably leaking at this point. So what kind should we get? Should we, you know, try to find some old school Eagles or find like the multicolored that change colors and do all kinds of crazy stuff? What should we do there? Let us know in the comments, and also make sure, like, subscribe, hit the little bell button, whatever buttons you have available, click them, because that'll help. Thanks, guys.